Hello and welcome once again to our family workshop. Now in this video, we're going to share the process of preparing wood for woodworking projects. At the start of this video, we're going to take the opportunity to share the project that we have developed over a number of years here at our family workshop. These are some of the surroundings, the environment that we continue to develop. We're fortunate that we have a resident beekeeper in my brother looking after those bees and bringing in the honey and also the beeswax then we can use later on. Our tree planting project was something that we were keen on developing for many years. And once we managed to purchase the fields, we were fortunate enough to be able to develop this. It hasn't been without its difficulties. In recent years, here in the United Kingdom, and especially here in Wales, we've been affected by the ash dieback. We've had the squirrels that have attacked the young trees, stripping the bark. We managed to protect them now by putting protectors around them so the squirrels can't get to them. So it's been with its challenges, but we're happy to announce that we've managed to plant in excess of 500 trees in the last 5 years. And that's our hope then, these will develop and grow and thrive for the generations to come. So let's get into the main purpose though of this video. Hopefully that little insight is interesting of seeing what we've developed here on site. But the main focus of this video is to show the process of going from log to wood that is ready for making a product from. We mentioned previously that much of the timber that we source is from recycled sources. So it's from sustainable sources, old furniture, that sort of thing. But we do fell our own trees. For example, there we had a diseased plum tree that had to come down. As we mentioned, the ash dieback, that has resulted as well in a lot of trees being felled in our local area. Our links with local tree surgeons is also really beneficial. They help us out and provide us with all sorts of different timber. The process, when it comes in log form, the first thing we try to do is to get it under cover. Get it out of those elements, away from the wind, the rain, but especially the sun. Over time then, we gradually bring it in. We will store it in log form for 12 months. So let's focus on the process that we use for preparing wood for our woodworking projects. So we select the log that we're going to process. This particular one is a piece of yew that was brought in by our local tree surgeon. We then cut it to the length that we require for our projects. One of the nice parts then at this stage, you can see the beautiful grain and character in that wood. We have to then adjust our circular saw to the width that we're going to require the individual slices from the log. We're going to show as well at this stage our push stick because it's rounded on the back edge. And the reason for that is if you do get kickback, it can save you from an injury, as we've learnt over the years the hard way, on a straight-edged push stick because it can dig into your hand. The guard on the saw, making sure that we're keeping ourselves safe at all time. We start off by just cutting a flat edge because of course that log is rounded off. This will allow that log to sit more easily for us to cut. Each slice then that we take of the log is around about 1 inch in thickness. Because we're reducing the thickness of the log, it speeds up that drying process. So 1 inch will mean another year of seasoning, and this wood will be ready for using for love spoons or scroll saw projects or whatever we decide to use it for. So you can see we use that push stick to push each slice of the log through, keeping our hands well away from the blades. Once we have finished with our circular saw, we have pre-prepared some little slats. We put those little slats in between each slice of the log, ready for it to go back into storage and to finish drying off. What the little slats allow is for the airflow to get right the way around the log and to season it naturally. So that's the process then we use for seasoning the wood naturally, is to use those little slats so the airflow can get right around the log. The next part to the process of preparing our wood for woodworking projects is to put it through the planer, the thicknesser. Plane it to get a better finish on it, to get the final thickness that we want for each project. We've got our guard on, making sure that we're putting it through safely, keeping those hands well away from the blade each time you put it through. The first half of this process and the second half of this process, we were working with two different logs. So we started off showing you that process for getting wood seasoned using the yew log. We then went across to an oak log because that has already been seasoned, for showing you the process of preparing the wood for the project. On to then the belt sander, and this is then working towards more of a finer finish when it comes to preparing the wood for those projects. So we start off on around about a P40. We then increase the P ratings to get a finer and finer finish. To finish off then, mark out as many things on that piece of wood as possible. We always try to be the most eco-friendly business possible, and the more that we can get out of an individual piece of wood, the better. So we try not to waste anything at all. Hopefully that's interesting. Hopefully it's useful. If it is, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, because it helps us to make more videos. And as we always say, thank you again for watching.